Hey there, Patriots. Welcome back to the front lines. This is Death Watch here to give you guys more intel so you can update your personal armory and fight back against the fake news media machine. And today we're going to be discussing Masters of the Universe movie, right? It was a live action version of He Man, is officially dead in the water, right? Netflix has completely rejected it. And currently, the producers and writers are looking for someone to pick up this new IP, this movie idea. However, on Netflix, there's already a Masters of the Universe live action movie. It was released back when Kevin Smith released his version of He Man, and they also released like a documentary series where they actually interviewed the writers, the original writers, creators of the show, the daughter of the creator. A lot of the voice actors, showrunners, things like that of the 1980s version. It even talked about how they decided to make the original live action He-Man Master of the Universe movie, right? And so I definitely, after watching the documentary, I definitely had to check it out, right? But however, they decided to make a modern Masters of the Universe live action movie. And as you see right here on this headline from Variety, Masters of the Universe movie dead at Netflix after at least $30 million in development, right? Mattel is shopping for a new buyer currently. Okay, this is exclusive. So let's just dive right in. For the latest film iteration, the budget came in over $200 million, right? With camera set to roll this February, sources said last spring. However, Netflix was confronted with a stunning stock drop that saw the powerful streamer shed $50 billion in value after investors became concerned about the company's subscriber losses, right? So essentially, they brought up this idea right after Kevin Smith had released his own version of He-Man, and then they decided to bring this up, saying, "Hey, we want to make this live action movie for He-Man," right? And currently, then they were losing mass subscriber count. We talked about this in I believe last year. Lost massive amounts of subscribers. They were having to like up their prices and also stop account sharing, right? Especially for I believe it's more for the South America and India regions where they said the real problem about that was, but it was overall like, network wide account sharing was being limited and stuff like that. They were doing a complete overhaul of how they were going to do the streaming service, right? And so, of course, they're going to be like, well, $200 million for a movie, and we're already losing, $50 billion, right? That's not going to fly. And currently, right now, with all the writer strikes, good luck. These people are definitely not probably going to get this movie picked up. So in the aftermath of the sell-off, Netflix film head Scott Stubber and chief content officer Bella, I don't know pronounce that last name, tried to reassure the industry that they still had money to spend amid their Wall Street woes. However, sources close to Masters of the Universe said after that point, the streamer refused to shell out more than $150 million to see up-and-comer Alan, American Horror Story and Haunting in Venice, right? Pick up He-Man's sword. A source familiar with Netflix said the stock drop was irrelevant to the budget issue on Masters, noting that its content spend has been flat at $17 billion for 2 years, despite market fluctuations. But anyway, um, you know, again, $50 billion is nothing to sneeze at, right? Of course, that's more money than anybody's gonna, any Americans ever gonna see in their life. But the problem is that, however, when you're seeing all these other movies and all these other TV shows that they're releasing, one of the main issues, and we're gonna be talking about Bob Iger with Disney Plus and Hulu Plus, is that a lot of these movies, right? If you're spending $200 million to make a movie, right? Sending it out only on a streaming service is not making money back, right? Because what's happening is that some sources are saying that because people are expecting movies to be released on the streaming services, they're not going to the movie theaters where the majority of these blockbuster movies need to make the money at. They need to make the money at the movie theater so they can get their return in investment and then hopefully start making hopefully with a profit, and then they release it on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and then they release it also on a streaming service where they can then continue to profit off of it, right? Most people are kind of just skipping these movies altogether and say, oh, I'll just check it out when it comes on the streaming service, right? And so that's kind of hurting a lot of these streaming services and a lot of these blockbuster movies, especially when they're shelling out, 200 million plus just to get the movie made, and then on top of whatever millions of dollars that they're using up to market, right, to market this to people, right? And so it's a whole bunch of different issues that's going on and why these movies aren't being successful, right? You got reports here saying one thing and other reports saying here saying another thing, but currently we are seeing in live action that these companies are losing money. They're losing money. Writers are on strike because they're saying, hey, we were promised X amount of dollars for doing these certain projects, or we were told that, hey, we would have all the money ready to go so we can work on this movie project, this TV series or whatever, right? And because of massive amounts of money being lost, they can't continue, right? They can't continue funding all these projects. So what Netflix, Disney, and a lot of these other companies, Warner Brothers, what's the Turner Broadcasting? A lot of these companies are starting to say, hey, money is getting a little bit tight. All these expendable people that we kind of made a some type of deal with, right? We can't really uphold any of this crap. We can't really continue to fund all these different projects because we're just burning through money fast, and we're not when these movies and these TV series are being released either in the theaters or on these streaming services, we're not really seeing a return in investment, right? And so you're starting to see a lot of people getting fired, a lot of projects getting chopped off, right? And so it's just all these problems are now starting to come back to roost to these studios, and now they're starting to see, they're starting to feel that burn. Okay, and so they're definitely currently right now they're trying to restructure, right? We're going to talk later because Bob Iger is currently trying to sell off a lot of the lower TV networks that Disney currently owns right now. Okay, but for right now, He-Man Master of the Universe live action movie completely dead, right? They're currently out looking for buyers. Mattel right now is not too upset because Mattel also owns Barbie, right? And they're kind of expecting the Barbie movie to take off, right? Because Barbie has already been a very successful doll line. In this movie, I 100% think the Barbie movie is going to be a success, right? It's aimed for, Barbie is the only, audience that has not changed, right? Barbie and the people who created that, Mattel, knows exactly who they're trying to market that movie to. They know exactly who are the people that buy Barbie dolls, right? Okay, that's not going to change. However, when it comes to He-Man and all these other IPs, the people who are currently in charge of these clearly don't know who exactly they're trying to market these toys to, these toy lines to, or who they're trying to market these movies to. Okay, and so that again is one of the reasons why a lot of these streaming services are starting to look at it more objectively and say, hey, yeah, we can spend $200 million to, make this movie, but are we going to get like $400-500 million back in return for our investment? Not, most likely not. So we're going to, hard pass, right? And so I don't blame them, all right? Money talks, right? At the end of the day, these are streaming services, these are companies, these are studios. They need to make money in order to keep themselves afloat, in order to continue making more content. Right? If they keep pushing out more crap, well, then nobody's going to want to continue to subscribe. They're going to lose money. And now everybody's going to be out of job because there's going to be no money to keep the company afloat. Right? And so, it makes a lot of sense. But like always, stay safe, stay sane, be vigilant, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you, Patriots, on the battlefield.